What's going on, everybody? DOnta here. This is an extension off the free agent video that I made the other day. There was one guy that I left off that list that I really wanted to go over. I honestly thought his team was going to re-sign him, but his respected team decided not to, so he will be a free agent this year. And in that video, I just went over, skill position players, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, guys like that. But this is one guy I really wanted to talk about because he had a very good, basically half of the season towards the end of the year once his starting, once the starting option for that team went down. And the starting option for that team was Derrick Henry. I'm talking about the Tennessee Titans. And the guy that replaced him was DOnta Foreman. DOnta Foreman had been in the league for a few years. He's 25 now. He started out with the Houston Texans, didn't really catch on there. He may have bounced around here and there, and then he ended up with the Tennessee Titans. And as soon as Derrick Henry went down, a lot of people thought that offense would fall flat on their face once Henry went down, but it was almost like that offense didn't miss a beat. They basically had one of the best, records in the AFC, and they had home field advantage through the playoffs, and a lot of people didn't expect that to happen once Derrick Henry went down. But we're going to go over DOnta Foreman's numbers from 2001. He had 133 attempts for 566 yards. He averaged 4.3 yards a carry. He had 3 touchdowns. I'm going to go over the last 6 games of the season for him. He went up against New England. He had 19 attempts for 109 yards. He then went up against Jacksonville. He had 13 attempts for 47 yards and a touchdown. He went up against Pittsburgh. He had 22 attempts for 108 yards. He went up against San Francisco. He had 9 attempts for 17 yards. That's a strong run defense. I'm not surprised that he didn't do anything against them. Then he went up against Miami. He had 26 attempts for 132 yards and a touchdown. That was a strong defense. That was a good overall team. We all know about how that team started to put it together towards the end of the year. Then he went up against Houston. He had 21 attempts for 69 yards, no touchdowns. But I think this guy would be a very good complement to a guy like Saquon Barkley. He's a power back. He's a guy that will get you the tough yards. Doesn't really catch the ball in the backfield very often. He can catch screens and stuff like that, and be a viable option when it comes to doing things in that sort. But I just think he would be a very good option. I wanted to talk about Shep being re-signed. There was a guy that I talked about in my previous video. His name is Kalif Raymond. He's a very similar, wide receiver to a guy like Sterling Shepard. And honestly, to me, like in the situation that we're in right now, I'm not exactly sure how Shep's contract was restructured, but I think Kalif Raymond could have came in here and honestly given us the same production as a guy like a Sterling Shepard. To me, this team really needs to get away from the guys that have been a part of the losing culture of this team for a very long period of time. Guys like Shep, guys like Ingram, Daniel Jones could be on that short list, also. Lorenzo Carter's going to be out of here, and there's many more other guys, possibly Leonard Williams. But, I'm a fan of Leonard Williams. I hate to even group him into that category, but, I mean, he has been a part of the losing for this team for a good period of time. But, yeah, I just wanted to talk about Kalif Raymond. If you didn't get a chance to check that video out, go check it out. It's 19 minutes long. I know it's a long video. I know it's tough to sit through, but there are a lot of good, solid low-budget options on that list that I put together that I think could definitely help this team going into this season at least. Especially with all the cuts that we're gonna have to make to try to get to where Joe Shane wants to be as far as the salary cap goes. But that's it for the video, you guys. I appreciate you tuning in as always, and check out that video if you get a chance. Like and subscribe. I've never really tell anybody to do that, but yeah, I appreciate the view. I appreciate you guys checking out my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.